Hey, viewers, George here to talk about a game that when I heard about it, I was fucking excited for it. It's Poker Night 2 or Poker Night at the Inventory 2. If you missed out on this game, the first one, basically the idea was, or the concept came from Telltale just wanting to create a game where these video game characters were just, doing something that they don't, when they're not doing what they usually do. Which, of course, poker happens to be the common thing. So, like, they created this thing called the Inventory, which is where, there's a huge history about it. It's insane. But, essentially, these characters come to this place called the Inventory, and they'll play poker. Or whatever. So, in the first one, what made it so cool is you got to play poker with, Max from Sam & Max, Strong Bad from Homestar Runner, Heavy from Team Fortress 2, and Tycho from Penny Arcade. It was so much fun, and it was cool to see like these different characters communicate with one another. So, of course, when the sequel came out, or was talked about, everyone got excited. So, what made this one really cool for me, especially, is the fact that there's actually a console version for it. So I'm down for that immediately. And in this one, you get to play poker with Sam from Sam & Max, Claptrap from Borderlands 1 and 2, whatever, Brock Samus whatever, from Venture Brothers, and Ashley Williams from the Evil Dead Army of Darkness series movies, which is fucking awesome because I love Evil Dead Army of Darkness. So it's really cool that I get to play poker with these guys. Really sad thing is that Bruce Campbell does not do the voice of Ash, but apparently you cannot have everything. And apparently he was really busy at the time, so they couldn't get him. But nevertheless, his character's there, and the personality and the jokes and the lines and whatnot are all spot on as far as I've played. And it's just so fun to see these characters interact with one another, which is where a lot of the game comes from. Because Telltale has done poker games before. One of their very early games was a game simply called Texas Holdem, where you played poker with these four other characters. And basically what they've done is they've taken that essential engine, how that game ran, and they've applied it with other characters and like way better dialogue and whatnot. I should also note that Gladys from the Portal games is the dealer in this one, so she also throws in some lines as well, and she says stuff, and it's just fun all around. It's great. So if you never played Texas Hold'em, I'm not the one who should be telling you how to play it because I've barely ever played poker. But with that said, the game does give you a tutorial instruction that's actually humorous as well about how you play it. There's also a cheat sheet that shows you the various combination of cards you can have in your hand to win, and what have you. So it's not like it's just throwing you into the middle of the ocean, leaving you to die at the hands of the shark and fishes. So that's cool. There's also another variation of poker that they have called Obrasis or something like that. I don't even know how to pronounce it. I've never played it either. Didn't even get a chance to try it because I barely know just the slim of how to play Texas Hold'em, so I stayed a little closer to that. But there's another variation of poker in there for those of you who want to try something else. So it's not just like one kind of thing. Some other things to note about this is, other than the fact that there's a ton of dialogue that's used and that keeps getting alternated, I haven't heard a lot of the conversational bits done twice yet, so I definitely haven't heard it all. I've heard like a lot of the little sayings that they'll say, like, checking and calling a few times, but there ends up being another variation of them saying it, so it's not just like stale entirely. So that's really cool. Something that's really cool about this one is much like in the first one where you could win items that you could use in TF2. This time around, you can win items that you can use. You can win items that will apply to stuff for Borderlands 2. Not the direct stuff, but like you'll get like skins and outfits for the various characters in that. As far as I know, the Xbox version you get avatar items as well, which is really cool. And there's also some in-game stuff that you can get, like different chip styles, decks, and the boards, the felt boards as well. So there's a bunch of neat little things here and there that you can get. And they're all stylized after the various games that each of the characters come from, including Borderlands, Sam & Max, Avenger Brothers, Portal, and of course the Evil Dead, or like to say Army of Darkness, but either or. And beyond that, there's not too much else that's different from the first one if you ever played it. The main thing I have with this game, not so much that it's a trouble in my way, because I don't care too much about it, because I grabbed it immediately when I saw it. So the price for this, it's at least on the Xbox, it's 800 points. I know, oh no, because the first one was like cheap as hell. I think when it came out it was like about $4 or $5, and then like a bunch of sales, or like if you get off the site, lowered it down to like $1 or something like that. I grabbed it for $1 off the Telltale's site during their little sale, so it's a relatively cheap game. This one isn't as cheap, but with that said, it is still a fantastically fun game to play. If you like if you like poker, and you should definitely try Poker Night at the Inventory, as it takes that poker experience to the next level, and making the characters more interactable, more interesting to play with, and not just like this one-dimensional, no-face character. So that's what makes this game fun. I mean, if you've ever been interested in trying poker, I would definitely try this one, considering it has the tutorial and also has some of these characters that are a lot of fun. There's items that you can use in Borderlands. There's avatar items if you're into that stuff. The only other thing that it doesn't have, which is pretty obvious, is there's no multiplayer. Because the whole experience of playing the game is with these computer players. So if you're like, oh darn, there should have been multiplayer, no, there's no need for multiplayer, because the fun comes from playing with these characters that you can never ever have an experience like this with. So that's where all the fun comes from. Do I recommend this? Definitely. I love the first one, and the fact that this is on a console makes it all the more needing to play. Is there any other selling points than what I've mentioned? No. The fact that you get to play with these characters, with, Claptrap, Ashley Williams, Sam, and Brock Samus, is really fun. The amount of dialogue in it is intense. I mean, I remember hearing that in the first one, more or less in the second one, especially, there's probably even more in this one, that the amount of dialogue that they've written for the game is more than you would ever see in a single season, I think it was, of Sam & Max. If you've ever played Sam & Max, it's a lot of dialogue. A lot of dialogue. So, Telltale has worked really hard on making sure there's a lot of variation to this game. It's not just so stale and bland, which I love about that company. So, definitely give it a try. You can at least try the trial, and you'll get like an experience out of it, and you'll see if it's worth that. If you want to try it, but you want a little cheaper of experience before you go and buy this big one, try the first one. The first one's dirt cheap practically, and it's still as fun. There's different characters in there, but I definitely love this one a little bit more, because the characters in there are a little more enjoyable. Fucking Ashley Williams. I love that guy. Like, I love that. Evil Dead's one of my favorite movies, so, Okay, with that all said and done, until next time, practice your poker face.